There's some kind of crud, and it seems like it hangs on for weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I think there's a point at which you're not infected. You're not contagious.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if I passed that point or not.
Wesley, thank you for coming in voluntarily and talking to me about this. Is this still your correct address on?
Timberline Drive?
Yes,
Yep.
3775 Timberline Drive, Orange Park,
Correct.
Florida. Okay. Briefly, just go into. I wanted to talk to you a little more about the marijuana stuff that's going on over there. What?
Oh, buddy.
What's? Do you have more details on that?
Oh, shit. I've got text messages.
Uh-huh.
I've got... This is what... I met them through the Corvette Club.
Yeah.
And it was... Oh, I don't know. Hell, it was probably...
You and Corvette?
Yeah.
Okay.
He does, too. He's really big on his Callaway Corvette. I mean,
Yeah.
this guy's a narcissist like you won't believe. But anyway, that's
Yeah.
that's my opinion. But I don't know. It was after a bit I'd been hanging out with him.
Mm-hmm.
And they had affectionately nicknamed me Uncle Wes, and we,
Yeah.
damn near like family.
So how long have you known them?
Oh, I guess I would have known them probably around 4 years, because I got here
Okay, so wow.
Veterans Day of 2010, because I
Mm-hmm.
retired from civil service the end of December,
Yeah.
and I had bought the car between Christmas and New Year's. That was my Christmas, retirement, and birthday present. Thursday is my 67th birthday.
Oh, the Corvette was?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's an '07. It wasn't new,
Nice.
but I traded
Nice,
my other
nice.
one in.
Yeah.
And
That was nice. That's expensive.
but we were
car
hanging
still.
around. We'd go to car shows and whatever. And I don't know at what point it was. And I've been over the house a number of times, and just like the great room or the whatever. And
Yeah.
he works for Verizon. He's working from home. Bullshit. Work on the car, whatever.
Yeah.
And at one point, I don't know at what point, the marijuana stuff had come up.
Yeah.
And and I'd been smoking the stuff with him,
Mm-hmm.
and he had he had introduced me at one point to the fact that it was legal, and he's been doing this and doing that, and he had gotten me associated with this legal firm, Health Law Services,
Okay.
and what he wanted.
So were you convinced that it was legal? Is that what it was?
Well, according
Yeah.
to this, yeah.
Yeah.
Here's the lawyer. I've met him. This is the.
What is this you're showing me?
Oh, this is the letter from the lawyer saying that it's an official legal certification that says that, based on the doctor's interview, and that was
Yeah.
a long interview, and my health records, and she has and he has listed medical conditions that I have, and it seemed to help.
Yeah.
So this here says, anyway, that's a different story, or a different part of the subject. So what had happened is he was he was growing in one of his bedrooms. He had, oh God, I don't know, 30, 40 plants maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And there were, at one point, for a couple of times, they had gone out of town and they wanted me to water this stuff. So I went over and watered this stuff
Okay.
for them. And
So they gave you a key to their house or whatever?
remote control for the garage.
Okay.
And what they had been doing is they would take the vegetable material,
Mhm.
I don't know, not the buds,
Yeah.
but they would take the vegetable material, I don't think the buds, I wasn't there when it happened, but they'd take it and they'd soak it in something,
Mm-hmm.
and then they would put stuff in the oven, and then they would boil off the chemicals
Mm-hmm.
to create an oil or...
Is that what the machine that you helped purchase was for?
There is, what the machine does is you don't use chemicals. You
Yeah.
put it in there and there's CO2 involved. It was new technology. And
Yeah.
you say, oh, wow, we can do the cannabis oil or the whatever. And what he was telling me was that we could do this, I could get mine, and
Mhm.
be able to make money off of it by selling it to other folks who were under the provider, I guess.
Like for medicinal use?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's
And-
like the THC or the oil in the marijuana for medicinal use or something like that?
Yeah, it isn't. I
Basically,
think that the THC is pretty much.
Did you vote? Do you remember the election that came up or the voting that we voted
Right.
for? Did you vote for that?
I did. I voted no.
So you know that it didn't pass, though, right?
Yeah, but this is already supposedly, and here's here, you look at it.
Okay.
This what he said. The lawyer is saying the jinx something.
Mm-hmm.
Is it from that? And that happened. I think he finally signed that. I gave him the money on 8/14.
Okay.
$1,650 transferred from my.
So this was the business y'all were in, of trying to sell this stuff. And make
Well,
money.
I mean that was the intent.
Yeah.
But the machine was new technology. It broke at this and that, and he was back and forth with the manufacturer.
What costs was he? Because what he explained to me was there was initial purchase of $1,600, and there was like cost of running the business that he was upset about, that you weren't paying some of that.
Well,
what is that?
The CO2.
So it takes CO2 to run the machine.
Yeah, and that wasn't. There was nothing in writing.
Yeah.
And the machine broke.
Yeah.
And it broke, and he was back and forth getting pieces, this, that, and whatever. And it never had he said once to me, "Hey, come on over and I'll teach you how to run the machine, and we're going to run a batch tonight, and you need to learn." Wasn't any of that.
Yeah.
So.
So at what point did your relationship was great up until what point?
Oh, I would say a month or a little longer. I could probably tell you more from a text message. There's a whole string of text messages where he admits that he knows
December
me the money.
sometime?
Probably November.
November sometime?
But,
okay.
And that's what I told him. Please, all you have to do is say something.
Mm-hmm.
He said, well, give me money or help me with the CO2. Never was there any issue like that. But, they said that originally they had said they're going to pay the $800 to the lawyer. Well, when it came down to wanting money, that didn't happen. I ended up paying that for myself. And I said, okay. I mean, it wasn't like I was trying to screw him or cheat him. What else? There were other things that I had done for them. I'd sold him my motorcycle.
So was he supposed to pay you? What money does he said something about owing you money. What money does he owe you?
$1,650.
He owes you the money.
That's all I wanted.
Yeah. Okay.
And
he's refusing to pay that, or what?
Yeah. Oh yeah. He says "fuck you" when I say
Yeah.
Because he had said originally that he would pay me.
Yeah.
And then
did you have anything like a contractual agreement?
No,
Just all verbal.
No, it was verbal. But the idea is that because based on this attorney here, it's the number of plants is 99. Well, Jesus, if I got that amount of, who knows? I mean, when you first start out, you don't know what you need, and you don't know how much oil, or some of the oil can be smoked, some of it is on your tongue, some of it's topical, and it's good for pains, it's good for headache, it's supposedly a whole lot of things. I mean, hell, I don't know, man. I spent almost 40 years working for the government, 2 honorable discharges in civil service.
Yeah.
So how in the hell do I know about that?
Yeah.
But he can fabricate a whole bunch of damn stories, and that's why they've got a whole bunch of crap in here that he makes stuff up. All you got to do is say something.
Yeah.
But all I ever got out of that machine, and I still have it, is 2 grams of oil. I would go over, and he referred to it as samples.
Yeah.
And I have small jars, maybe about that, a big round, maybe 50-cent size, but about so tall. And there would be, I don't know, 2, 3, buddy things in it. Probably not a quarter of an ounce, but there would be a couple of those.
Okay.
And there was one time, and I would, every other week or whatever, and I'd go over and have, 2 or 3 of these bottles. Yeah. And he would give me samples. Yeah. Well, I had gone over, sometime in November. I just have to look at this to give you the exact dates. But then he said, well, he had to do this, that, or whatever, and I was going to have to start paying for this stuff. And, well, if I'm in the machine and you've got the authority, if you're supposedly doing my providing, why am I paying anything? I mean, I don't mind if I've got 99 trees, as they would refer to it.
Are you retired right now?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Are you you're not busy right now, right? You got a little bit of time? Okay, you can go. If you need to go, you just let me know. But I just wanted to get a couple things straight.
No, but I don't mind talking with you, okay? But the thing is, he took advantage of me. He scammed me into this thing. And
Yeah.
here's some more documentation of where he says that he is a LLC. There's a $21,000 proposal. He wanted $21,000 worth of money. And you can look in there and see the menu of dope that he says. That's what I got out of it, the dope that he's got on hand. He's nothing but a drug dealer. Now, why would anybody buy a gallon of fox urine for $200 or $300 a gallon to spray in your wheel wells because that's supposed to confuse a drug dog? Okay. It's just...
Yeah.
Anyway, but...
Okay, so basically... I can get copies of this. So
yeah. No issues whatsoever.
If you don't mind.
No, I don't mind at
okay.
all. But
so basically, what I'm trying to say is,
this form is what I went back and I had talked with a lawyer here a few weeks ago. This is the form for someone to be your provider. Mm-hmm. You have to have them sign and notarize, and you got to sign and notarize. Don't have to.
I think that was in the law. In the law that they were trying to pass. They had to have. You had to prove you were a provider of it, and then if you're a provider, then you can. I don't know all the details of it, but
I think the stumbling point with that was is it would do away with folks who currently, under the law, supposedly can cultivate their own.
Yeah.
And that would
You had to go through a provider.
Yeah, but you get a poor person for oil or whatever, but you get a poor person that isn't covered by health insurance, and some of this stuff is $400 or $500 a pop. How do you get a poor person or somebody that they've got a sick kid? How in the hell are you ever going to pay for this stuff? And if they would put that back in the law, or this next time around, if they'll include it,
I'm sure it will be back in there.
And that's okay. If it apparently has medicinal benefits.
Yeah. So you started calling, I guess, Detective Hines, and then telling her about this and trying to get her to go and
there were two issues with her. Again?
What were you trying? When you called her, you just wanted her to let her know, or what?
Yeah. And the thing is that
where's all the marijuana? You've been in there and seen it, right?
Hell yeah.
Where's it at?
Well, I'm not sure now because he's moving.
When you were there, when you saw
it. Where was it? What had happened is he had one bedroom full of plants. He had another couple of grow chambers.
It was inside his house?
Oh, yeah.
And at the Carolina Jasmine Way one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then recently he moved into another bedroom and put in 3 grow tents, a server or whatever air conditioning unit, a charcoal filter, and had a couple of, I don't know if they're 20 amps extra circuitry. So he tells me
electricity bill's pretty high.
Well, that was part of his bitch. I paid $1,400 a month for electricity, and I'm saying, oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, it just doesn't. I don't know. And I told Hines that.
Yeah.
And the other thing was, how do I get my money back? That's what I really wanted.
Yeah.
Was I just want my $1,650 back.
And he basically told you.
He told me to fuck off.
Yeah. So you knew at that point. What day was that?
Oh, here, look at it. Is there a way, and you guys have the technology, I don't know, but is there a way to pull the text messages or copy them from the phone?
Sure. Yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I would be more than happy to share that shit with you, because I watch Judge Judy or whatever, and they've got people that have copies of text messages, and I'm thinking, well, I don't know how to do it, but I sure as hell don't want to. This guy, I won't talk to him on the phone because he just. But what I wanted him to do is to continue to.
So are you? I mean, when you're calling Detective Hines, you're hoping that she can develop enough probable cause to get in the house. And find the marijuana and stuff.
She did call me back, and she gave me the civil. With the note, she said civil whatever. Yeah. I needed to go that route to get.
So if we can
back.
get in that house, we'll find stuff probably.
Well, because he's moving.
Yeah.
I talked to. It was interesting. There was another guy that had been in the Corvette Club with us. He had called me yesterday because I'd gone to Rolex with him last year. And he wanted. It was just an update. The guy or person that was going to go with him canceled. Did I want to go? Well, now I went halvesies with him last year, but Jesus, what I got out of $150 was I didn't get the Corvette Corral. I didn't ride around the track. I had to park back in BFE.
Yeah.
It just. So I said, no, and it's expensive. I mean, that's expensive. I can watch the shit on TV.
But he'll still have stuff in his house that you think in
I
out in there?
I would think so.
Okay.
But now, what I had heard from a friend is that he had said that they're trying to buy a house.
So you found out